But still, when we give a Fibonacci series, okay, the relative ranking is possible, right? I understood that. So now let's say you take the case of a house. Okay, now let's say if this is we are doing the project is painting the house. Okay, so now this is maybe this is the smallest room, and here we have a toilet also, toilet and bathroom. So this is the puja room, so that can be a one, and this could be a three, and this could be a five, and this could be an eight. Now, if that is the case, how much will be this bath actually? Can you give a guesstimate? So, but then it's okay. Now the area is equivalent to one, but painting a bathroom is always complex because you have to dismantle a lot of things. The area to be painted is less, but then the work involved is complex. Okay, so it cannot be a one, it should get a higher rating because the work involved is complex. Because first I have to cover all the areas which are tiled. Then I may have to dismantle some of the the pipe fittings and all those things and the geysers and all those things. Then I should paint and then I should refix it. So the size of the room is very small, but the amount of work involved is complex. So this will have a higher weightage, maybe an 8. The same logic is applicable for a functionality where the functional requirement is small, but to accomplish that you have to do lot of work. Then it should carry a higher story point. So if this I think this may throw some pointers towards an answer for you. So in mainframe, because I think you always your hangover you try to connect function point with story points. So here the function is small, but it is complex to accomplish. So it will carry a higher weightage. So will this help you to solve this issue? Because is there any way to break the story further? Please do that. And you can always write test cases separately, right? Yeah. So so here what we are saying is we have a functionality which runs for let's say 60 days, and our sprint is functionality which runs for 50 days, and our sprint is 30 days. Yeah, you have the first prior option is try to break the story into smaller ones. So again, at the end of a sprint, we are not talking about shipping the product, we are talking about shippable product. So if you can break it into smaller ones, then okay, you can definitely contain it within this 30-day sprint. So that is the best thing because the last thing to do is to change the duration of the sprint. Because the moment you change the duration of the sprint, it has an impact on your velocity. No, no. See, we are see uh, at least 90% of the cases. Okay, you will be able to break it further. So now we are talking about exceptions. So I always see definitely you can break it further with the yeah you have kind of a stub in between and then you can break it and do the development. That is quite possible. Okay, so your two questions were the first one is the functionality is less, but to accomplish that, I need to put in more effort. Then my answer was that will carry a higher story point. Okay, and the second one, if a particular story doesn't fit into the duration of the sprint, the best thing to do is break it further so that you can contain it within the sprint. Okay, so these are the two things. You will be able to break it because uh, see now you see if some if some somebody say see we are not the confusion comes when you somebody understands it as if no here we have to ship to the customer. We may not ship, we may ship at the time of release. Okay, so at the end of the sprint, it is only we are talking about shippable quality. So it doesn't mean that we are shipping the product. Yeah. So now I think these two things should add some value to your thought process. Uh, then now we're talking about data warehousing. So I think yeah the solution is same. Yeah. Functionality may be small, but you need to put in a lot of effort to accomplish it. It will carry a higher story point. Because we sometimes we go to the extent of saying now let's say there is a task called lab setup. Okay, so you have something like lab setup, uh, which you are doing in a sprint, and this may be used by future sprints also. This should carry a story point because you are spending too lot of effort into it. So it is, yeah, and or again, the team is attending a training program for the sprint, which is relevant for the sprint. That also can have a story point. So when we say story point, it is not mandatory that it should be against features only. Because otherwise, again, your velocities will go for a toss because for a particular sprint, the team is undergoing a training for 5 days. And after that, only they can really start building the features. So, one way is okay, the easiest way is give a story point for the training program itself so that your velocities will be intact. Similarly, let's say you are doing a lab setup kind of thing, which is not just for one sprint, which may be used by future sprints also. That also can have a story point. So now we have to explain it again. So what we are saying is this is customer feed. Yeah, yeah, that is coming to the data warehouse. Yeah, okay. Now what is the question? This needs. When we say 3 weeks, it is the 3 weeks for processing it or 3 weeks for writing or implement. Why, sir, now, why you want to implement agile here? Any benefit? So here I can write a test case. Here also I can write a test case. Acceptance. Wow. Yeah, and put into the temporary store, and the next one is interface to the RBI. You- Yeah, and you can write test cases for these two, and you can estimate it also. I think so because I've not worked in data warehousing. That's fine. So if you are working on system software, same it is the same issue. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. No problem. Again, it depends on your story point. Again, see, if you don't want to call it as a user a story point, You call it anything, no issue, a process point or whatever. Okay, it is nothing but a weightage given. So if the term user story is creating the confusion, uh, I think you just replace the term user story with process story or whatever, and give a process weightage. That's it. So still you can work it. You will be able to calculate the velocity, and sprint after sprint, you'll be able to compare. It is quite possible. Yeah. So here, there is nobody to approve. All that matters is your productivity and the quality of work. That's right. So that's right. For the entire data warehousing, that particular project, this series will hold good. Okay. So and you, uh, yeah. For that data migration, data migration, okay, sprinting is quite possible. For data migration, we can always do sprints. Yeah, separate sprints. Based on the table size and the integrity of data, you can always come out with a story point or a story. Table, yeah, whatever. Yeah. It may be a huge table. It may be a table with lot of fields, and all the keys are there is one-to-one mapping to the target, and all the mandatory fields are already not null. Then it can carry a lower weightage. But if it is, see, there are a lot of padding that need to be done while migrating because there is no one-to-one mapping. Then it can definitely have a higher point. So when we talk about this Fibonacci series, the higher the number, it just says that the work is complex. It is going to take more time. So it is a product of the functionality and the complexity. I don't know. I don't. I don't have a. I don't have a silver bullet answer there, because I don't know your project. So maybe one option could be you have your functional sprints going like this, So maybe the data migration sprints also you can have like this, no? Before in parallel. So it may not be continuous. Maybe before the release, okay, you can have a data migration sprint. Or if this calls for multiple iterations, okay, you can do multiple iterations also. So parallel development, yeah, that is one option. That is that is one option. Another option is put it as an acceptance criteria, as an acceptance test. Done means the relevant data should be migrated and then you show the result using that data. That is another way of doing it. All I can say is okay, there is a way out. Okay, so if you look at it from a with an open mind, there is always a way out. Absolutely, there is no standard because the founders of Scrum itself tells you very clearly, like, yeah, there is no ready-made formula for every project scenario. The team has to come out with a solution. And all I can say is, in 99% of the situations, there is a way out. If the team can, apply their mind together, there is a way out. Possible because just because you have a product backlog, it is not mandatory that it cannot change. So as the project progresses, priorities can change, and it's quite okay if you include a story for incorporating some servers. But then, if it is a massive rollout, then okay, you can run separate sprints for hardware part. Let's say if it's implementing servers at 40 locations, then that is separate project. You can run separate sprints. That's right. Because recently I don't remember the name of the account. So I had people coming from the system administration group, and they were also probing like now how whether they'll be able to implement Scrum. And again, they're from banking industry. Okay, so if they want to upgrade, let's say 3,000 servers across geographies, can we apply Scrum? Yeah, quite possible. So this is my value add. Like, see, always the story point. It is not for the functionality. It is for the amount of work involved, or it is a product of amount of work involved, and yeah, definitely complexity. It is not just the size. It is size into complexity. Size may be small, but if the complexity is high, you get a higher story point. Size, yeah, estimate doesn't mean that it is always effort estimate. So here it is size estimate. Yeah. Okay. So spikes are something. Yesterday we were discussing like, now to implement a particular feature, you need multiple layers. Okay, the presentation layer, the processing layer, the database layer, all working in tandem. So now in the Scrum, while prioritizing the features, we are talking about risk-driven prioritization and value-driven prioritization. While prioritizing the stories, so first we have to address the risk part of it. So risk can be technical risk, and it could be functional risk. So what we have to do is, okay, in sprint zero, because your architecture itself is not in place. So sprint zero, I may try to implement a spike. Spike means it is a small functionality which will cut across the entire architectural level. So let's say if this is the layers of architecture, a spike is something which will cut across all these things, and a small functionality here. Okay, and if I test this and if this works fine, that tells me that your architecture by and large it is in place. Because on this I can run a scalability test, stress test, everything I can do, and then say these the components of this architecture are all working fine because it is scalable. Possible. That's right. The functionality per se may be very small, but to achieve that, okay, yeah, you all this it will really challenge the architecture, the entire layers and the entire components. So these type of things we call as a spike. So spike is something which will cut across all the layers of the architecture, and so that will help you to manage this technical risk better. See, absolutely, there is absolutely no issue. So there is no issue because it's quite okay if you split the user stories to the minutest level. That's right, but then for each story there, you can write a test case. And please ensure that the functionality is complete before you make a release. So within the sprint, functionality may be incomplete, but before the release, please ensure that it is complete. Okay. So maybe let us do it in the next session. So those are easy. Those are easy. Uh, that's a good sign. So that means okay, most of the scenarios we have discussed. And see, I'm available. Yes, and when you want to discuss something, I'm available. I'm available to you for the next 1 year. No issues. I'm available for the next 1 year. Absolutely no issue. No use here. So no point in looking at no point in looking at the neighbor's Mercedes Benz car. All that matters is what is there in your car Porsche. So if this knowledge helps you to make some extra dollars, uh, that is fine. Or if or these things help you to build a new product, and from that you can make some additional dollar. Definitely, okay, it serves the purpose. Otherwise, it is all just academic discussions, and of late, I'm not interested in that. Yeah, because yeah, people just talk about, they complicate things. Uh, the most important thing is, yeah, it is all very academic things, very academic. All you need to do is start building your product and release it. Uh, that is the intent of all these things, not about academic discussions on LinkedIn and stuff like that. If a practitioner has a genuine query, okay, it must be addressed. Instead of that, we talk about the variants of Scrum, and I don't know, some people want to make a living out of it, like me, so they glorify too much. You complicate it so that you can build more. Okay. Non-functional stories was not a surprise for me because that happens in any project. Yeah, okay. See, again, as an afterthought, see, sometimes you can keep it outside the sprint because, yeah, and just finish it off. Yeah, it can be brought outside the sprint. Uh, yeah, yeah, that is one way to do it. Or for this also, you give story points. That is another way to do it. Then what people do is, okay, now let's say the same 10-member team is spending time on that as well. Then the planned velocity take a dip with the justification that this many people are not available for this many days. That's how they do it. So previous sprint, I got my velocity is 10. Next sprint, I'm supposed to take 10. Instead of that, I will take maybe 8 because I know that some of my team members will be working on this non-functional thing. Or another way is for the non-functional thing also you give a story point and yeah, then do it like this also. Yeah. Yeah, measure it along with the sprint. So your velocity will remain intact. So whichever suits you, please take it. Because there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. Monday same time must be fine. And now after that, I'm traveling, so I may not be available for 3 4 days. So Tuesday night onwards, I'm not available for till Friday. I'm not available. Yeah, fine. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Good night.